Good morning, everyone. We're continuing here in the words of the Beis Halevi on AHAVAS YISRAEL, speaking about the negative trait of a person who really hates another Jew. Not only, as we said, does he transgress the violation of the After L'Recha Kamocha, he does not fulfill the mitzvah of loving a fellow Jew like himself, he also transgresses the Sinas Chinam. You're not allowed to hate your brother in your heart. This is a law, this is a negative prohibition in the Torah of hating another Jew. And therefore he writes, Ba'avura, and because of this terrible sin of hating another Jew in one's heart, Nechrav Habayis, the Beis Hamikdash, was destroyed. Kedisa b'yoyma daftes, like we find in the Gemara in Yoyma, famous words, the Bayis Rishon in Nechrav al Avodah Zarah v'Gilui Arayos v'Shfichas Damim. The first Beis Hamikdash was destroyed because of the three cardinal sins. Number one, Avodah Zarah, they were worshipping idols. Number two, Gilui Arayos, they were having illicit relations. And number three, Shfichas Damim, there was murder that was taking place on the streets of Yerushalayim. These three cardinal sins, HaKadosh Baruch Hu cannot tolerate at all. These are the ultimate antithesis of what a Jew is supposed to be. As the Maharal explains on that Gemara, a Jew is supposed to be someone that is so loving and so caring and so sensitive and so holy and so heilig and so lofty and so much trying to be in line to go in the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that when a Jew gets involved in these three lowly, insidious sins, which are the exact opposite of all that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us to be, Hashem says, I can't tolerate Klal Yisrael anymore, the Beis Hamikdash, which is the central focal point of all of Klal Yisrael, where Klal Yisrael is supposed to learn how to be a Yid, where they're supposed to walk into that edifice, which is physical in nature, however spiritual in its essence, and they're supposed to go there and get infused with the life of Kedusha, infused with the relation with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, have elevated visions of themselves to understand what HaKadosh Baruch Hu really wants from us, and live accordingly. If in the midst of a world where there is a Beis Hamikdash, the Jewish people are straying to the extent that they are involved in the three cardinal sins, Avodah Zarah, Gilui Arayos, and Shfichas Damim, the antithesis of what it means to be a Jew, says HaKadosh Baruch Hu, I have no tolerance. The Beis Hamikdash, which is supposed to protect you and inspire you and awaken you and give you the strength to live daily as a Jew is supposed to live, you're not doing that with the Beis Hamikdash. That privilege and that gift that I've given you, I'm taking away, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu had the Beis Hamikdash destroyed. That was the first one. Aval Migdash Sheni. However, in the second Beis Hamikdash, Shayu Eiskim B'Torah Uba Mitzvos Ugemilas Chasadim, they were involved in Torah. There was no Avodah Zarah. They were involved in mitzvahs. There was no acts of illicit relations. Ubegimilos chasadim, they were involved in acts of chesed. They were doing kindness for each other. They were not killing each other. Chas v'chalila. All of the three things that they were weak in and that they were nichshel, that they were failing in the first Beis Hamikdash, they rectified in the second one. So why was it destroyed then? There were such tzaddikim in that generation. Says the Gemara, Mibnei Ma'acharav, why was the Beis Hamikdash destroyed? Mibnei Shaya by Sinas Chinam, because they had a Sinas Chinam, baseless and senseless hatred in that generation. L'lamercha, it's coming to teach you how deep is the sin of Sinas Chinam. Sheshekula Sinas Chinam keneged gimel averas halalu. Sinas Chinam, hating another Jew in your heart, baseless and senseless hatred, is tantamount. One sin of senseless hatred is tantamount to transgressing all of the gimel chamurais, the three cardinal sins, which again is Avodah Zarah, worshipping idols, illicit relations, and shfichas damim, and murder. Hating another Jew in your heart is as bad as all of those three. And the Gemara even goes on to say over there, well, which one was worse? Was it worse to be in a generation that was killing, that was having illicit relations, and that was worshipping idols? Or was it worse to be a generation where everybody was steeped with this sin of Sinas Chinam? And the Gemara answers, Puk Chazi, take a look and you will see. The first Beis Hamikdash, they did tshuva on, they repented, they came back, and they were able to rebuild the second Beis Hamikdash. The second Beis Hamikdash has been lying in ruins for 2,000 years. Elamai, says the Gemara, must be that the sin of Sinas Chinam is worse than the Gimel Chamoros, than the three cardinal sins. How can that be? The answer to that, Be'ez Hashem, we will discuss tomorrow and in the upcoming days, so we can understand as we are going now into the almost heading into the 3 weeks of Shivasa B'Tammuz next week and getting closer to Tisha B'Av. This is really what it's all about. The Chorban Habayis Sheni, the second Beis Hamikdash destruction, is all because of that, and we're going to spend ample time to describe and to explain. So we should understand, to identify what Sinas Chinam is, and then Be'ez Hashem how to eradicate and wipe it away from our hearts. Have a wonderful day.